Introducing Black News with 2 silent B's.
First up, we have Lucas with pandas.
We need to protect the pandas. Pandas are endangered. People are cutting down their bamboo forests, and they have been hunted for their fur. To help restore the panda population, panda breeders have been breeding pandas. This has been very helpful. Today, there are about 1,500 pandas in the mountains of China and Shanghai. They can be found eating bamboo, which is a panda's favorite food. They spend 20 hours a day eating bamboo, but they can also be found eating meat too. There are 9,000 species of pandas. While living among the other pandas, they communicate with 12 different calling sounds. The panda will also show aggression to prove their strength to other pandas in their pack. Pandas are amazing animals and deserve to live here too. With our help, pandas are making a great comeback. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, I learned a lot about pandas.
I think we need to take a break from the turtles and start saving the pandas.
Hey, what's a seal subject?
I know. Art. So that means Brody is up next with seals.
Let me share some interesting facts about seals. There are lots of kinds of seals. Some seals are found in the harbor, such as monk and elephant seals. The harp and ring seals and the bearded all live in the Arctic. There are also Antarctic seals like the crab-eater, leper seals, and gray seals and ear seals or fur seals. Seals are mammals with flippers. Their whiskers help them find food. Flippers help them swim. They are most common in icy waters like the Arctic and Antarctic. But seals will go on shore to give birth or rest, or as babies they will shed their fur. Sadly, seals are hunted for their fur. People are making blankets with their fur. Seals are also hunted by sharks and whales. Because of new hunting laws, seals live longer than 30 years and are only hunted by animals such as sharks and whales. Overall, seals are important and I am glad they are protected.
I guess a seal's favorite subject isn't art.
I hermit crab you later.
Wait, up next we have Caleb with hermit crabs.
Land hermit crabs are also known as coconut or robber crabs. They are quite often kept as pets. They use their shells for protection. These crabs live in the southern African islands inside their own shells. Fighting over territory and empty shells are things these crabs are known to do. Hermit crabs are social and also very cute. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Caleb. Next up, we have Ava with Caitlin Owashi.
It's not Owashi, it's Ohashi. Caitlin Ohashi is an amazing gymnast. When she was 12 years old, she entered into the elite world gymnastics. She was a 2011 junior champion, a junior national team winner of the 2013 American Cup. Caitlin was on her way to a successful gymnastics career. When she was 16, she was training at the gym and her back really hurt. Unfortunately, Caitlin found out one of her vertebrae was shooting out of her spine. She was in excruciating pain. This didn't stop her though. As a level 10 gymnast, Ohashi attended UCLA. At that point, Caitlin didn't know if she would be able to do gymnastics again due to her injury. Because the school had an amazing gymnastics program and an amazing coach, Miss Val. When she finally returned to the competition, Caitlin scored a perfect 10 on her floor routine at the 2019 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Pro Championships. UCLA came in third overall with a score of 9.950. She even defeated Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles. Caitlin has been to many competitions such as Elite World Pro League and many more. She has also been on Good Morning America and Essence Body Issue. Caitlin Ohashi's journey through gymnastics has been a tough one, but Ohashi won't trade it for the world. Now back to you in the studio.
I learned a lot about Caitlin Owashi.
It's Caitlin Ohashi.
Okay, whatever. It's Caitlin Ohashi.
Next up, we start out with Misty Copeland.
I'm just not going to argue. Misty Copeland is the first African-American person to be in the highest dancing spot at ABT, American Ballet Theater. But her life wasn't always so perfect. Misty Danielle Copeland was born on September 10th, 1982 in Kansas City, Missouri. She moved with her 3 siblings and mom from Kansas City to California. Eventually, Misty and her 5 siblings moved 4 more times, then found themselves at a motel. Misty was first inspired to dance or move that way in gymnastics. Then she became captain of her drill team. Even though she was the youngest athlete, right away the other girls obeyed her. After that, Copeland became interested in ballet. Cindy Bradley was her first instructor. Copeland danced at the San Pedro dance center. Not only was Cindy her coach, but Misty eventually moved in with Cindy. Then soon winning the San Pedro Music Center Spotlight Awards was a huge accomplishment for Misty. Then it got pretty ugly after that. Misty first attended ABT in a summer program. Then she joined ABT. In her career, she had 2 major injuries. One was a stress fracture in her back. The other was several stress fractures in her shin. In her career, she danced as the first Black Firebird, and she danced with Prince. Misty Copeland is an amazing dancer and has inspired me to work hard and achieve better dancing. Back to you in the studio.
I learned a lot about Misty Copeland.
What's the difference between weather and climate?
You can't weather a tree, but you can climb it. I guess up next to Sophia with weather.
Sophia, what's the weather today?
Snowy.
It's snowy. Sophia, what's the weather like in February?
In February, the weather can be snowy and cold.
What should we wear outside?
When you go out, don't forget to wear your hat, coat, and gloves.
Wow, I learned so much about weather.
Catch a dogs, pick one.
I'm going to say they're equal. No. Thank you everyone for watching our LAC News with 2 Silent Bs. Stay alert.
Welcome to Tiger News.
Hot!
Well, this first story is a good one.
Here comes Malia with a report on J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling is a woman with great imagination and the author of the Harry Potter series. She was born on July 31st, 1965 in England. Rowling was the daughter of Peter, an aircraft engineer, and her mom, Anne. Her little sister, Diana, or Dee, was born 2 years later. Rowling, known as Jo from childhood, loved reading books and wanted to be a writer from the start. She wrote her first book in 1971 about her sister Dee falling down a rabbit hole. Jo went to grade school at Tussle Primary. Although Jo was smart, she didn't enjoy grade school. Her teacher, Miss Morgan, put her on the dim side of the classroom. When she was moving on, Jo was ready to kiss grade school goodbye. Next, Jo went to Wayne Comprehensive, where her mom worked as a science technician in the chemistry department. One of the toughest bullies picked a fight with her. She stood up to the girl and became known for standing up to bullies. At this age, she also wrote her first novel. When Jo was 15, her mom got multiple sclerosis, or MS, to which there is no cure. Seeing Harris made Jo feel better about her mom. He's the real-life inspiration for Ronald Weasley. One day, Jo was waiting for a late train, and a thought popped into her head. The idea for Harry Potter. Sadly, soon after her big idea, her mom died of MS. Later, Jo married George Artis and had Jessica. The Artis marriage lasted for less than a year. In the next 5 years, Jo mapped out the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter was a big hit with, well, everyone. Grown-ups, kids, in many countries. Everyone was crazy for Harry Potter. This madness was called Pottermania. Soon Hollywood got in the game. At this time, she married Dr. Neil Murray and had David and Mackenzie. In 2012, Jo launched Pottermore, where fans can taste the magic for themselves. After Hollywood got a taste of the magic, Broadway wanted some too. 2016 was the year Harry Potter and the Cursed Child came to Broadway. Within the same year, Fantastic Beasts came out. In 2018, the sequel came out. Now I'm just waiting for 2021. Bye!
Wow, that was magical.
I'm just like that.
I learned so much.
It's time for another super awesome person. Shanita has a report on Simone Biles.
Do you know a famous athlete who taught herself to flip backwards of a mailbox? Her name is Simone Biles. She is a wonderful gymnast who had a helpful coach named Amy Borman. She surrounded herself with some awesome teammates. Simone Biles was born March 14, 1996, in Columbus, Ohio. She grew up in Spring, Texas with her little sister, Adria, after they got adopted by their grandparents. She loved to jump and tumble. Simone accomplished many things. She was a world champion in 2013, won a gold medal in 2015. At just 22 years old, She was the greatest gymnast of all time. Spending 32 hours a week training in the gym helped her earn her goals. Hard work, strong talents, cardio training, a strong heart, and lungs make Simone Biles a wonderful athlete. Back to you in the studio.
That was fliptastic!
Ha ha ha.
That wasn't supposed to be a pun.
Oh, I guess you'll have to save your jokes for after the next presentation. Caroline and her report on corgis.
Can you believe that Americans own around 75 million dogs? Most scientists, Meghan Markle, British lords, and Winston Sherlock all own dogs, corgis to be exact. Queen Elizabeth owned more than 30 corgis in her life. Corgis have been around for a long time, since the 10th century. Corgi ancestors came to Wales from Central Europe in 12,000 BC. Corgi means dwarf dog in Welsh, which makes sense because they are so small. They are also good with kids. The dogs are bred to herd sheep, cattle, and horses. Lifespan 12 to 15 years. Corgis are sometimes nicknamed loaf of bread because of their size. They are so short they can avoid being kicked. They are loving and also protective, always are alert and smart dogs, wonderful family companions and full of fun. They were created to work on farms. Corgis were trained to herd flocks of geese and chickens and also to get rid of unwanted creatures. Overall, they are amazing dogs, which is why I love the Corgi breed.
That was perfect.
Corgis are dogs, Alex.
I knew that.
Yeah, right. Here comes a slightly less energetic animal, Maddie, and her report on sloths.
One day you decide to go to the tropical rainforest, and you see a furry, hairy creature. That is called a sloth. A parizo is another name for this slowpoke. There are many kinds of sloths. Someday you might come across a sloth that might have many toes, 2 toes or 3 toes. Sloths are wonderful, precious animals that live in the mangrove or caroubia tree praying to survive. These slowpokes are surrounded by monkeys, anteaters, parrots, llamas, and squirrels. The predators of the sloths are large snakes, harpy eagles, jaguars, and other big cats, and crocodiles. Overall, sloths may move slowly, but in life, the tropical rainforest would be terrible without them.
Wow, I didn't know sloths were so cool.
What are you doing?
Being slow like a sloth.
Well, I guess Tommy will speed up the process. Here comes Tommy's report on Mike Remmers.
Mike Remmers went to Jesuit High School. Then he moved on to Oregon State College. Later, he moved on to the NFL to go undrafted. In Remmers' rookie year, he played with the Broncos, to the Chargers, Vikings, Rams, and then eventually got traded to the Panthers. Remmers was traded back from the Vikings from the Panthers. Presently, he plays for the New York Giants. Even though Mike has been traded from team to team for most of his NFL career, right now, Mike Remmers has a total of $17,862,542. During all of his trades, Mike Remmers has played with many players such as Von Miller, Michael Arher, and Doyle Williams. One game that stands out to me is Super Bowl 50. Remmers let Von Miller sack the quarterback 3 times, which led to 3 fumbles. In all, Remmers is a good player and will hopefully win the Super Bowl.
What did the coach say to the vending machine? I want my quarterback.
Mike Remmers isn't a quarterback.
Potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
Let's just get to the next presentation. Alex with his report on hurricanes.
Oh no, a hurricane is on its way. Picture this. The wind is howling. You're on your roof to escape floodwaters. However, there is no protection from the rain. Trees are being ripped from the ground. The roofs of houses are being torn off. Welcome to a stage 5 hurricane. Suddenly you remember something. You scramble down off the roof and into your house. In the garage, you find a canoe. Desperate, you paddle out into the storm. However, you haven't gotten to safety yet. You are swept away by strong rapids. Panic fills your body. Then everything goes black. Unlike many others, you survived. You are found 3 days later on an overturned canoe. You just survived the worst hurricane you have ever seen. What is a hurricane? Hurricanes are very intense storms. They are essentially a swirling mass of storm clouds that form over the ocean. But that's not the exact description. They only form over warm oceans. The surface temperature of the water must be at least 70 degrees, otherwise the water won't evaporate. When the warm air and moisture rises off the surface, it spins and forms clouds, which become a hurricane. Hurricanes can only form over the ocean. They're all over the place, but it only happens in the warm season and only in tropical places like Hawaii. When warm air rises, the cold air goes down. Because of the rotation of the Earth, this causes this hurricane to spin. When it hits land, disaster strikes. To sum it all up, hurricanes are very cool, but that doesn't make them safe. Have my facts blown you away? Back to you in the studio.
I was really blown away.
I already used that joke.
Well, that doesn't matter now.
Fine. Last but not least, Carmela has a survey for us.
What did you like, hot chocolate or coffee? Coffee. What did you like, hot chocolate or coffee? Coffee. Hot chocolate or coffee? Carmela, I really like to drink coffee. Back to you.
I couldn't think of a joke about surveys.
Neither could I.
This is awful.
Why do people even drink this?
Let's just end it here. On to the next newscast.
Hello, welcome to JHC MMC News. I'm Megan.
And I'm Cooper.
Today we have a wide range of news.
Starting us off today is Maddie with Too Much Sugar.
Over to you, Maddie.
Hi, this is what I'm talking about today. Too much sugar. How many sugary drinks do you drink a day? The American Academy of Pediatrics and Jennifer Harris, a researcher at the University of Connecticut, say that too much sugar in kids' drinks is a big health risk. There are ways you can make your kids and teens stop drinking sugary drinks. 1. Putting a tax on sugary drinks will make them more expensive. Kids and teens may choose other cheaper drinks. 2. You will start seeing changes in vending machines and on kids' menus. Those changes are going to be adding water and milk to vending machines and on kids' menus instead of sugary drinks. Why should we change what we drink? Well, sugary drinks have led to a 60% increase in childhood obesity. Also, drinking many drinks with sugar can lead to type 2 diabetes. All in all, sugar can cause a lot of problems. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that was interesting.
Remember, kids, don't eat too much sugar.
Now, coming from where you live, we have Harper talking about horse stables in Londonderry.
Hi, this is Harper Bonzu of JMC News, and today my guest will be Clay Sheet to tell us all about Beanie Farm in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Clay, what's make Beanie Farm the best riding stable?
I wouldn't really call it the best riding stable, but it certainly is a catch. All the people there are so sweet, and the riders are very good, and the horses are much better. So, yeah, it's a pretty nice stable.
Do you think the horse stables are nice?
I do actually think the horse stables are nice. It's a good stable.
Are they big enough for the horses?
Yes, they are big enough for the horses. Actually, all our stalls are filled with now horses and storage, but yeah, that's a problem because if we were to get another horse, there wouldn't be another stall. But again, there's always room to build another stall. So yes, I would say it's big enough for horses.
Are they clean?
Yeah, the stables are clean. I mean, after we do the work to clean them, we gotta muck out the stalls, clutterize the place. We gotta always sweep the floor. I mean, every once in a while you run into a cobweb, but it's not a stables without a cobweb. So, yeah, that's okay.
Do the riders help at the stables?
Yeah, the riders do help at the stables. Actually, I go to the stables every Sunday and I help out with the work to clean the stables and take care of the horses. And even when the riders are riding at the stables, they don't necessarily have to volunteer. They can always just help clean the horses after they're done riding.
Are the horses protected from bad weather?
Yes, they are actually, especially when they're inside. They have these heavy-duty stalls that no wind could get through to. They're always safe. And also when they're outside, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be outside during bad weather, but if it started to sprinkle a little bit or even rain, and we didn't want to bring them in, they could always go under a little shelter place in their paddock they have. So yeah, they are protected.
Can the horses see each other?
yeah, two things. One thing, yes. So the horses, sometimes there are some horses, if one horse is in a stall and one horse is outside, there are stall windows, so a horse could always look out the stall window and see the horse in the paddock. If the horse is in a paddock with the stall window, they could always just look at each other through the stall windows. And another thing, I don't know if the bottom stalls has these, but we have two levels of stalls, high one and a low one. Yeah. So the low one, I don't think they have this, but the high one, all the stalls there have these little bars up top, so the horses can always see the horses next to them. So it's pretty nice.
So will you tell people to choose Beauty Farm for riding and stabling?
Most definitely. First, stabling, there are maybe 3 or 4 boarded horses. That means they have owners that are, just stabled here. And you probably have 12 horses in all. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it for riding and stabling.
Well, there you have it for all your riding or stabling needs. Please to try out Beanie Farm. Thank you, Kalai, for taking this time to do this intro. This is Harper Bobby. Sign out.
Thanks for the news about that horse stable in Londonderry.
Yeah, that was interesting. Now we have Josh here to discuss Julian Edelman.
What?
Julian Edelman was born in Redwood City, California. He started playing football when he was 8 years old. Edelman played Pop Warner football for the Redwood City 49ers. He won the Super Bowl that year for his Pop Warner team. A few years later, he flew to Florida when he was 12 and won that year too. Julian Edelman is a professional NFL wide receiver on the New England Patriots. He was a quarterback in college. At Kent State, Julian was a starter in 2006, 2007, and 2008. He was drafted to the NFL in 2009 and was a 7th-round pick, which means he was the 7th person out of all players to be chosen. He broke Joshua Cribbs' single-season record. Edelman was a Super Bowl 49 winner. During that game, he got 109 receiving yards, 7 rush yards, and he also got 27 punt return yards. With 2 minutes left of the Super Bowl, Julian Edelman got a game-winning touchdown. Overall, Julian Edelman is unbelievable. Who's your favorite NFL player?
Thank you for the details on Julian Edelman.
Racing.
What?
That's what's next. Let's talk about Jeff Gordon.
Connor, take it away. Jeff Gordon was born on August 4th, 1971 in California. He started learning to drive at age 5 with his stepfather, John Bickford. They practiced driving a sprint car number 75 on a track, starting his love for race car driving. This former professional stock car driver, number 24, won his first championship in 1995 at just 23 years old. Gordon won 3 more titles before he was 30. He was a 3-time Daytona 500 winner and a 5-time Brickyard 400 winner. Jeff had a rivalry for many years with racer Dale Earnhardt. In fact, Earnhardt and Richard Petty are the only racers who had won more championships than him. Gordon announced in 2015 his final Sprint Cup season, where he finished 3rd. What is Jeff Gordon doing now? He is an announcer for Fox NASCAR and a partner at Hendrick Motorsports. Jeff wants to be remembered as a great race car driver because that's all he ever wanted to be. Thanks for the drive through his life. Now reporting at the makeup studio, we have Megan talking about how makeup is made. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Megan Plaza, coming from you live at the makeup studio. Cosmetics. It's what every young girl wants to wear. But is it really safe? What's in them? Well, I'm here to find out. A typical product will contain 15 to 50 ingredients. An average woman wears 9 to 15 products a day. 15 times 50 is 750. So that's about 750 ingredients a day. What are those ingredients? In products, some mineral ingredients are iron oxide, mica flakes, manganese, chromium oxide, and coal tar. When we wear makeup, it's important to remove the product. If not, our skin can become very unhealthy because of the many chemicals and ingredients in our cosmetics, like the ones I just mentioned. Did you know that makeup has been around for more than 7,000 years? Ancient Egyptians applied perfumes and oils as far as 4000 BC, before Christ. Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans made cosmetics from plants. They also used powders to dye their hair. By AD, after death, 1100, the usage of cosmetics became popular in Western Europe. Now, is our skincare and makeup as safe as it really was? In 2004, at the University of Reading in England, there was a man named Dr. Philippa de Brie. He reported that 18 out of 20 breast cancer tissue samples contained parabens. Parabens are believed to disrupt hormone function by mimicking estrogen. This got the media in a buzz. Soon, this was proven to be incorrect. While the parabens are noticeable, the study showed no direct proof that parabens existed in cosmetics or that it caused and contributed to the issue of cancer. Therefore, we shouldn't be worried about parabens. We should still worry about buying products from sketchy brands and using products with no ingredients labels. Please use this information to stay safe when applying makeup. All in all, current scientific tests have shown that many ingredients in cosmetics are safe to use. Also, try to buy makeup from trusted brands. Cheap remakes may not have been tested and it may use different ingredients. It is wise to know the ingredients in products and know what they do. This is a way to make a good decision on what to put on your beautiful face. Thank you. This is Megan reporting live from the makeup store. Make sure you're safe with makeup. Coming up next is a super cute topic, guide dogs, led by none other than Cooper. Take it away.
They say dogs are a man's best friend. I would agree with that, especially when a man's best friend is there to guide his owner. Guide dogs help people with many different disabilities. Guide dogs for the blind wear a special harness to keep their owners with them at all times. These types of dogs help with getting their owners out of danger. Guide dogs for the deaf have a warning position so their owner can tell if they're in danger. Guide dogs for deaf people can't really make them hear things though. These trained dogs are pretty amazing. They can open doors, get your newspaper, and even pick things up that you've dropped. Guide dogs are always there with their owners, so they are trained to use their manners. If your dog isn't allowed somewhere and you see other dogs in there, don't be offended, because the dogs that were allowed probably are trained. Guide dogs are awesome animals that have awesome jobs protecting people. Now, back to you in the studio.
What a great job.
That's all we have for today on JHC MMC News.
See you after the break.